Well, not all 10. Do 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
We're doing 2, but skipping 3.
We're skipping 3.
Okay. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
There's actually 6 amendments in that first amendment. Go ahead.
Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia,
Which we don't have anymore.
being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
That's too bad.
Except they need an
If you think of it in terms of the militia, it's very different.
Here, read the 4, 5, and 6, the yellow
there?
stuff.
Okay.
So not the whole thing.
Okay. And I have a question about Amendment 1 for you later.
He didn't write it?
Amendment 4, but he's read it,
No, he hasn't.
which sets him apart. Amendment 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Amendment 5. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against him, herself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation.
And on that last part, when we're dealing with the homeless issue, Zoo and I will go out every Thursday night and try to persuade people to come off the streets. We've proposed that the city should use eminent domain to take over the abandoned hotels, because the ideal, they're single rooms with single bathrooms that would give people dignity and get them off the streets. But yet, the Adams administration has basically said no to us at this point. We don't give up on that one.
Although the landlords want to use that to overturn the rent regulations. And it's
Excuse me?
city. The landlords are suing to overturn the rent regulations using that clause, takings clause.
Yeah, they've tried that before. I don't think they'll succeed again. Court's different now. You're right.
Yeah. Amendment 6, let's try this one. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed.
And on that one, Rikers Island is the best example of how they don't follow the Sixth Amendment. Because there are people there at Rikers, and people don't realize they're pre-trial detainees. And they're entitled under the Sixth Amendment constitutional right to a speedy and fair trial. And they sit there sometimes for years. You've got to stop and close Rikers. Go ahead.
Even at Mar-a-Lago.
The trials are unfair.
People supposed to be innocent until they're proved guilty.
That is true too.
That's also a bad.
Yes.
And the trials themselves are unfair. Look what happened to Mumia.
There are no stacked.
Do 8.
Amendment 8, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted.
The death penalty is cruel and unusual.
Solitary is cruel.
Okay.
10,
13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, which is all about trying to undo the history of America, especially towards people who are slaves, black folks.
are we doing all the Q&A?
Should I read
at
the
end?
yellow parts?
We can do the Q and
Amendment 13. Either slavery
nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Amendment 14. This is part of it. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. No person, subdivision 3, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of a president
This part deals with January 6th. Go ahead.
to support the, unless no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector or president and vice president. Support the Constitution unless, must be something like
No, it means that all those people, if they take an oath to support the Constitution, then what happens after that?
if they shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability.
Right. We've never read that part of the 14th Amendment, but in view of what happened on January 6th, in view of the elections coming up in 2024, there's at least one person there who potentially this could apply to if they decide to enforce that provision. And then the 15th Amendment.
The rest of the 14 says the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law shall not be questioned.
And that's with
We're
regard
here
to
to honor the
recently that big
statute.
debate
We're interested in
about
listening.
raising the debt limit, and people who are potentially going to be creating more chaos. The Constitution, the 14th Amendment says it must be, what's the right word?
Shall not be questioned.
C'est comme
Not be
des.
questioned. And the president has the authority
Comme les impôts de
if
droite de la
Congress
femme, genre.
is trying to play games with that, and then enforce
Ça
and
dit
raise
comme
the
les
debt,
femmes qui ont comme
pay off the debt under the
Kay
Constitution, in my
language.
opinion. That's what Larry tries to
French.
argue for.
No French?
Spanish.
English or Spanish? No French.
Denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude.
Except right now in places like Texas, Florida, they're doing exactly, in my opinion, in violation of that provision of the Constitution. So we want to go on and talk about the 19th Amendment, especially in view here, and I see the sun coming out. All right. Who wants to read the
Good
19th?
omen, good omen.
I like, especially what 19th's about. I think I should not, and at least 5 or 6 of us guys should not be reading that. Too often we guys try to take over even the women's movement. So who's going to read? All right.
We have a reader.
There you go.
I forgot. So it's the highlighted?
Yeah. 16th Amendment.
16.
19. 19.
19.
Do I hear more?
16's upside down.
The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex.
Go to 25.
20, section
26.
26.
Oh, wait, no. How old are you?
I am 27.
How old are you?
33, just turned it.
Can you read that one too?
The right of citizens of the United States who are 18 years of age or older to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of age.
All right. Okay. So we have 27 amendments, and so that's a period of time for 247 years. And some of the provisions in the Constitution themselves, probably about half a dozen or a little more, have been amended with regard to as time goes on. And so be aware of that in the sense of people who don't see freedom, justice, and equality as we do. Yet at the same token, like on ERA, that's part of what we have to focus in to create that ratification of that simple principle that women should have equal rights to men. Okay, let's do another Granny song.